Hey guys, this is E. If you're wondering why chapter 4 is about 2/3 shorter than the other chapters, it's because the recording actually failed when I was playing through the first time, and I didn't realize until after I finished. So what I decided to do was just to record it again on a different program, but just run through it as quickly as I can, and instead of a let's play, it's just going to be a quick walkthrough. But I mean, the game is free to play. Right now, chapters 1 to 3 are available for free. If you donate some money, you can get chapter 4 right now, which is what I'm playing. But chapter 4 will eventually be released for free as well, so just I'll leave the link in the description. By the time you see this video, chapter 4 might be free to play as well. But I did just, want to walk you guys through chapter 4 as well. And if you're stuck somewhere, feel free to skip around to different sections of the video, and it should help you out. I'll be talking through the video as we get to the actual playing portions of it. But like I said, no let's play this time, just because my recording software Fraps messed up. So I'm just clicking through the intro here. Again, at this point, I'm assuming most of you guys have followed up from chapters 1 through 3, and you guys are sort of familiar with the story. There might be a couple of people who are just watching the videos and not actually playing. If that's the case, I mean, I definitely encourage you guys to actually play the game, because it's free to play, and it's you get more of the experience if you're playing by yourself. Put on a pair of headphones. That's definitely what you should do as well, just to get the full experience. Alright, so now let's get into the game. I'm not sure about this yet, but you might hear my mouse clicking. I don't know. I might have to adjust the volume when I edit this, but you might be able to hear my mouse clicking. It's because I'm using an alternate recording software for this one. Which unfortunately also records whenever I click my mouse. It records the sound. So you may hear that, or you may not, depending on how I edit the sound. Alright, so in this chapter, most of it takes place within the house, and some of it takes place in the yard as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're not going to go upstairs. We're going to wait. We're going to go through the rest of the downstairs, and we are going to pick up the oil lamp. You're going to need this for a lot of the game, actually. And now we're in the backyard, so we're going to unlock the gate. That isn't actually required, but it makes moving through the level faster later on. So the first thing you want to do back here in the backyard is to pull up the rope. And from there, we can go back inside. And now we're going to go upstairs. And from here, essentially, you just want to hit the rooms from left to right. So this is one of your other former school buddies, Alexander. He's going to play an important part in this chapter. And there's a couple of different things you can click on. And I guess I'll click on a couple of them that are sort of important. If you're playing this game through, I mean, I definitely encourage you guys to click on all of the different letters and pictures and stuff. It'll give you a better sense of the story. I'm just gonna skip some of them, just because it's not 100% necessary to get through the actual game. Alright, so now we got the hook. We're gonna connect it to the rope, which we're gonna use later on. So now we're in the photography room. You're gonna spend a decent amount of time in here. So we're gonna pick up the cyanide, and the notes down here, they're actually notes that tell you how to develop a photograph. So we got the cyanide, we need vitriol, and the instructions say, after you combine those two elements, You're going to rinse it under the water. And there's also this this weird creepy painting, which you should take note of. And then we're going to move on to the last room, and we're going to pick this up. This says do not open under white light. So this is, the envelope actually contains the photograph, and then this invoice gives you a hint about the clocks. So that invoice gives you a hint that you should turn the clocks to 6:15. You know that, so you know, if you didn't read that letter, you probably would have been really confused, or that invoice. But anyways, the envelope is actually the photo. I think that might be unclear for some people, but yeah, just make a note of that. So now that we have the hook, we're going to use the hook and drop it down the well again, and we're going to pick up what was in the bucket. And that's a small bird made of brass. So this bird actually is going to be important. But before we do anything with the bird, I forgot, we need to pick up the light bulb from the photography development room. We're actually going to unscrew it. And you notice the red pixelated glass. That's actually important. We're going to need to do something about that, because originally, you know, the light bulb had that red glass covering it, and that's no longer there. So we need to get a red light bulb in order to develop the picture, not the white one we currently have, because it's not the right light. You know, if you try to do anything, it'll just keep telling you, you know, you're not in the right type of light. So if you go back to where you started, you notice there's a deer here now, and this might be kind of confusing. I think a lot of people don't pick this up, but you have to dip the light bulb in the deer guts. So now you have a red light bulb. And then finally, we're going to go over here to the greenhouse, and we're going to pick up the vitriol. You're going to need this to develop the photograph. So we're going to do that. It's a little bit hard to see because it blends in with the background, so just make sure you click on it. I feel like they patched it so you walk a little bit faster in chapter 4, which I like. Alright, so now we are going to screw the light bulb back in. And we're going to develop the photograph. So you're going to put it underneath the sink, pour in the vitriol first, then the cyanide, then you're going to rinse it underneath the sink. And that part freaked me out the first time I played it. Insanely freaky, especially because I had headphones on, because I was recording with my mic and I had my headphones on, so my mic wouldn't pick up the PC sound. But anyways, you're going to show Alexander the photograph. He's going to drop a clock handle. So that clock handle actually goes to the clock downstairs. I should have brought this up before. You technically probably should have checked this the first time you came in the house, but there was a missing handle. Now you have that piece. You're gonna go up, and then again you probably would have checked the upstairs clock too when you first came in, but if you did that, it'll say there's a bird missing, and then now you have both pieces of the clock repaired. So if you notice, this clock is turned. It's turned, I don't know what you would call it. It's turned like 3 hours or something. So, you know, the first part of solving this puzzle is technically to turn the clock to 6:15, which is what the invoice said to do, right? So if you do that from the downstairs clock, nothing actually happens. So you're supposed to be confused and look up here, and you're gonna notice this clock changed times 2, but the clock itself is tilted. So if you do a little bit math, you'll notice that you actually have to move this clock back to, I think, 3 o'clock, if I remember correctly. And once you move it to 3 o'clock, now you get a sound upstairs. And alright, now something else gets dropped. And the key inside the bird is here now. So this key is the key to the basement. It's the only locked door in this section, so we're just gonna go down. And right over here, we're gonna pick up the shovel. So technically you are supposed to explore what's to the left, but right now you don't even have to. We're gonna be going down in the basement later, so yeah, we're just gonna come up and then dig out the grave from the backyard. And then this, if you go try to open the lock, it says it's, you know, it's resisting, so you're gonna pour the vitriol on it. And that skeleton is actually a skeleton of an ape, not a person. There's a little backstory about the ape if you look through some of the letters and stuff scattered throughout. But we pick up a constellation map, which we'll need later on. And once you walk back, you hear Alexander yelling from upstairs. So we're gonna run upstairs and see what happened to him. So again, this is some backstory about like the housekeepers in Alexander's house and how they're creeped out about random occurrences going on. And we're gonna go to this statue. We're gonna pick up the lens, which we will need as well. Alright, so the plan now should be to try to find Alexander. So you might wander around everywhere, but essentially he's in the basement. We're just gonna skip right to the basement. Just skip the suspense. And then that was Alexander mumbling some weird, unintelligible stuff, but really creepy, especially if you have your headphones on. So we're gonna go all the way to the left, and then in here. So that cage is the monkey's cage, or the ape's cage. Just a little backstory there. Alright, so now we're in this creepy cave-like thing. So this is a really interesting puzzle. I like Chapter 4's puzzles a lot. I think they're really, really well done. So we're going to put the crystal in the telescope, and then we're going to look at the map, right? So the map is going to coincide with what you have to click on here. So we're just going to click on the appropriate triangles. I already did this once, so I pretty much remembered where to line things up. If you're having trouble with it, you can maybe print screen the map and then just look at it on Microsoft Paint or whatever. And then the second part is matching up the symbols with what's in the telescope. So let me just get this one. Again, I did this once before, so I still remember the symbols pretty well. So once you match them up, that latch automatically opens, and you're going to pick up the syringe. Then you're going to go down into the hole. Right, so this was in the little prologue of Chapter 4, so you might remember this this scene from the beginning of Chapter 4. You're going to give him the syringe. Make sure you do that, or you can't advance the little conversation here. And from here, he's going to walk over, and you're going to hand him the syringe. And you're just gonna follow what he does. I mean, essentially, he's gonna watch out. He's gonna stab you right in the neck like that. Yep. Right. So from here on, there's the doctor of DeVitt and then the professor. They're trying to locate DeVitt, right? So at this point, they're actually in the scene of was it chapter 2 in the beginning, and then right here they're in the scene of chapter 1, and then there's a little epilogue scene here of you walking through the mist. That's pretty much the end of chapter 4. If you guys liked the video, if you found it helpful, please feel free to leave a thumbs up, and of course subscribe. There'll be more Last Door videos to come as they get released. If you guys have any questions or if you're stuck anywhere, please leave a comment and I will try to help out. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one.